Hello, welcome to the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. I am welcoming you, episode 73. Today we have a guest. We have the owner of missionstatements.com, Carla Hart, with us. We'll have a great conversation together, and I'm very excited. Let's invite our special guest to our virtual stage, and let's get the conversation started. Hello, Carla. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. It's a beautiful day where I am.
Yeah, that's great. Well, it's the beginning of autumn almost. Summer is
Yes.
over, so these are really good times in terms of the weather and being active.
Right. Yes.
Appreciate it.
September
Well,
is good.
that's true. That's true. Well, first of all, thank you for your partnership, missionstatements.com. I had a chance to put it on the screen with our team, but quote of the day is: the greater danger for most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low and achieving our mark. Thank you very much for your contribution and help. For the code of the day is missionstatements.com. Much
Yes.
appreciated.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Well, great. Maybe if that's okay, let's get our conversation started.
Okay.
As a start, would you please introduce yourself and missionstatements.com briefly to our audience and to our listeners?
So my name is Carla Hart, and I own missionstatements.com, which is a curated library, probably the largest in the world of mission statements. It has been also a writing service. I think it started in 2008. I worked for the owners early on and then purchased the business in domain, I think in 2019. So we help people write everything from the about us on a website content, mission statements, vision statements, anything needed.
Yeah, this is really exciting. Can you tell us about your career path a little bit? How your career path unfold? Were there any unexpected turns in your career journey?
Oh, yeah. So I've been really fortunate. I have had a very interesting career. What I do now is not really what my career was. I started out, well, let me back up. I've always somehow made a living, one form or fashion, with writing and communicating. But my career was in forestry and forest policy management and working with small businesses in the forest products industry. Some life changes led me to expand what I did in my business to just help anyone with marketing or branding, website development, videos, social media, anything people needed to communicate their business and product.
How about your day-to-day work experience? Are there any? What are the challenging and exciting parts of your work on daily basis?
Well, I really am driven by helping people communicate, whatever that is, helping people succeed at whatever they want to achieve. So anytime I can help someone write, put their words, their thoughts into words, then that's exciting to me. You did say, you asked earlier about it changes and turns. AI has really changed what I do through mission statements. It has made it really possible for people at virtually no cost to generate their own mission statement, to build websites in literally minutes at almost no cost. So while I would say I haven't reinvented, but definitely mission statements does not get the attention in business that it once did.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I learned actually a couple of weeks ago, we had a networking event that we hosted on the American Business Podcast. It is called the Connectional America Business Alliance networking event. And during that event, there were some writers and editors who joined our networking. And some of them, they mentioned that they utilize AI. However, the content of AI is not as great as we all thought or we all think. So
Yeah.
there's still a need for an editor, an expert to view, check, correct, And some of them also mentioned they're also asking permission to their clients whether they like them to use AI in combination with their own insights and expertise. So that's another practice that I learned during these business networking event. That was also a good learning experience for me. And it looks like there is still, need for humans in this case. That's how it looks.
Yeah.
But of course, AI become a pretty important tool for individuals and organizations to utilize. That's how it looks like it at the moment.
Yeah, I think the perception right now, and maybe it'll shift again, is that writing is simple with AI. Like you don't really need a human to do that. So, the few people who feel like they want someone to talk with as they work through things and are willing to spend the money to do that, I know they're still out there. And maybe over time, if people find that AI is just regurgitating the same things, maybe they will, come back to looking for humans. I want to believe that there's always going to be a role for humans. I mean, humans can offer insight and empathy that you can't get from AI, at least not now.
Yes, yes. It looks like there is going to be the human power servers and AI power servers, and that is going to be a choice. Or it's going to be a combination of both. That's also another possibility. That's what I'm seeing in the market nowadays, the combination of both. At the
Right.
same time, we all see that AI is not ready to take over many different things yet, not yet. Still learning and learning pretty quickly, though. That is also a fact.
Right.
Let's talk about marketing a little bit. In your business experience and also based on your observation, what are the best marketing channels that you have seen in terms of the ROI?
So, like anything, I think it depends on what you're trying, like who you're trying to reach, what your product is. I have always found, and I think it holds true, that email marketing has probably the best ROI, especially if you kind of know your audience, if you're able to gather legitimate emails and you communicate a consistent and positive message. Of course, social media, if you're trying to get directly to consumers, a lot of people find social media more beneficial. I've even in the last, I'd say probably 10 years, got people to move back toward print, postcards, print mailing, because now, as it got so crowded with digital marketing, could be more effective in getting people's attention with something that is printed. So again, I think it really depends, but if I had to name one, I would say email marketing is probably the most effective.
Yes, the thing about print media is, you receive it, you feel it, you play with it, you open it, you read it, you put it aside, you read it again. That experience is pretty unique, right?
Yes.
Comparison to
Yeah, I
it-
think humans are still tactile, right? We still want to hold something every once in a while and read it.
yes, yeah, that sensory marketing is still working in that sense. And also it's a part of the marketing mix, I will say, right? So we have the print media and also the digital medium in the form of email or social media, for example. And yeah, the thing about printing is it's actually a manufacturing process, literally. You need to prepare it, you need to design it, prepare it, literally print it, check it, and then you know uh, prepare it uh, for the mailing, for the USPS to take care of it and deliver it. So it's quite a process as well. So comparison to digital marketing, it's more labor intensive and
I
always
was going to
more
say that's a
costly.
good point. It is more labor intensive. So I think people tend to think, well, am I going to get an ROI? What is my ROI going to be? Because I've got to invest a lot up front. So, I think that sounds kind of old school now, right? To go ahead and spend the time and energy. But I think if you do spend the time and energy and you've been focused in who you're trying to reach, then the payoff is there. It's like anything, right? The more you put into it, a bunch of blasts through social media or email, like maybe it's kind of what we call flock shooting, so maybe you get some, but are they quality? Do you get the
Mhm,
quality?
mhm. Yeah,
I
that's
always
true.
say also the most effective is word of mouth, right? I mean, like whether it's a restaurant or any kind of service, the best marketing is doing a good job with the customers that you have, and then they refer you or willing to tell you about people to reach out to.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Interesting. So I'm a co-host of a podcast called Two Guys, All Things Tech, and our co-hosts that we work together, Antonio Lucidi. So we had this conversation as well, in the form of AI, how AI is going to be evolving and how the marketing will take place in AI. Is because AI is sucking too much information about every single one of us when we perform searches or other conversations that we have, and we are all registered when we think about it. So we need to just to use it completely. We need to log in, right? So they know us, they know our information, who we are, what we do, and then we log in, so they can really trace us. As far as we know, it's not happening yet, but then it has a lot of potential when we think about it. You can do a lot of targeted marketing with
Yeah.
the help of AI tools, whether that's ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot, you name it. They're pretty much similar anyways in terms of generative AI and LLMs. So that's another one coming up that will be seen in action. That's how it looks like it.
Right.
It's an
Well, it
exciting
sounds like
conversation.
I hear, a lot of extreme of the, spectrum. I read something recently, and I can't remember his name, but he was someone who was influential. He worked for Google in developing, I guess, the platform that was the initiation of AI. And he has dire warnings. He's saying, stop, it's going to overtake humanity. And then I just today heard that there was a big meeting led by Melania Trump at the White House for AI education and talking about all the benefits. So
Mhm.
I guess it's again perspective, how you see it, how you're using it. And I think one of the things that we were going to discuss is the regulation. And, I know there's already a lot of effort to regulate state, federal, local level. There's a lot of industry self-regulation supposedly, but I don't think it's going to be very effective. I don't think they're going to be very effective at regulating AI.
Mhm. Yeah, it looks challenging. It looks
Yeah.
challenging, and the laws and regulations are how much they are ready in terms of managing the process. That's also pretty in early stages.
Hmm.
At the same time, economically, there are billions are being invested in AI technology, infrastructure of AI, energy that it consumes. So there is also economic factors that we need to put into consideration. So there are just a lot of moving parts that needs to be considered. But at the same time, we have to make sure it's working safely, responsibly, in a traceable, reportable way. Children are safe in case they use it without by themselves. So we need to make sure it's also safe for society as well when you perform it, when you use it. So different perspectives, different angles that we need to look at it. That's how it looks like. But from the business, point of view, um, there is the marketing part of things, there is the advertising part of things, as well as the knowledge that's actually it accumulates over time. That we can also benefit from is also exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I like to shift our conversation towards role models and mentors. Have you had any role models or mentors who help shape your career journey?
Oh, yeah. Many. I've been very fortunate. And I would say, too, all of them have been men along the way. From my father, my grandfather, to throughout my career, I was very fortunate to work with people who had a lot of wisdom and insight and wanted me to succeed. And I think I learned along the way that nobody succeeds unless someone wants you to, right? So everybody needs some kind of help along the way, a chance to make mistakes, learn from things. Um, but just to be number one, given the chance to try your hand at something. So yeah, I've been very fortunate, and learned, just the basic things that you think are just old adages, like, no pain, no gain. Work hard. When you fall, get up. Don't ever give up. One of my bosses always used to say, always be hard on the issue, soft on people. Just these adages that along the way you see play out as being true.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, if there is one key career lesson that you learned the hard way, what would it be that you can share with us?
God, there's so many. I think
We'll take a
one,
couple.
probably the biggest one was that if you have someone, a boss or someone in a leadership position that supports you and maybe has, protected your position, that if they leave or move on, you can't always count on the next person to handle situations the same. So what I learned from that is you've got to be adaptable, flexible, and always know what is it that you're willing to do and not willing to do. What's most important to you. For me, it's always been freedom and independence. I've never been willing to sacrifice my family or my values to a job. So it's just learning that, okay, just because this person aligned with you and supported you, the next person may not. And that you have to be willing to let go and move on to the next thing.
Is there a book, a show, a movie that help shape your perspective or your career?
So there's been a lot of books, but the one that sticks out in my mind, and it came out when I was, I guess, still in my early 20s, and it's the Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I think that book, it's kind of a classic now, but I think it still has a lot of great wisdom in there, and I often give it to recent high school or college graduates that I know. I think it's a good foundational book to read for anybody at any age.
Yeah, it's a great book. I had a chance to read that book as well, and absolutely, the knowledge in it is precious, especially for the next generation coming in.
And a couple others that really have more to do probably with marketing. I like Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why. Seth Godin, The Dip? That's a good one. Another good basic one for everybody is, and this is an old one, Norman Vincent Peale, Positive Thinking. I think it's called Positive Thinking.
Yes. Thank you very much for these insights. I appreciate it. Carla, if you had a chance to go back history, personally or historically, what timeline would you like to go back and why?
I would enjoy living in the early 1900s in America. I think it was a time of great exuberance. Our culture was probably really starting to peak at that point, and we had lots of opportunities. Of course, nothing was perfect. There was still a lot of issues, but I think it would have been a great time to be alive, especially if you were trying to start a new business or if somebody was willing to work hard. I think that there was a lot of opportunities, and it was an exciting time.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Well, that's one of our popular questions. We got it from actually our audience. They ask us to ask this question, and we get fantastic responses. This is one of them, so truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
What are your biggest passions outside of work?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I'm first and foremost a writer, so I enjoy creative writing. I have one novel that was published in 2016, and I hope another one that I get published before I die. That's a piece of historical fiction. So I do enjoy that, but I probably spend more time in a sport that my husband and I enjoy. It's sporting clay, so we enjoy shotgun sports, so we do that quite a bit. We like to compete.
Yeah, that's exciting. And especially, sometimes work is challenging, right? We all work hard. We all face, challenges from time to time that we need to address. How do you stay motivated and inspired at work?
Well, to me, I believe that we were made to work, that there's dignity in work, that everybody has some job that they are called to do. So I just get up every day and ask, what is it I'm supposed to work on today? So I just don't look at it as an option to not work. I might do something different. I've done a lot of different things. I've always been willing to do kind of whatever needs to be done. Certainly as long as it's legal and morally right. But you know what I'm saying? Like if there was a job that I thought would help someone, I'm always willing to do it. So I've gotten to do a lot of different things on any given day. I mean, it's always different. One thing I did mention, I also have a business that is a food truck operation. So I get to do that sometimes. I get to write for people. I get to work on people's websites. Sometimes I'm just trying to go and visit someone who maybe needs a meal or, just a friend to talk to. So to me, it's always just out there trying to do what you can for your fellow man.
Yeah, this is great. Well, So part of our audience is actually the next generation. Another part is a mix of senior professionals and professionals in their mid-career. Um, Especially for the next generation, do you have any career advice for them?
Well, back to, I've been thinking a lot about, the discussion with AI. And as I said, it's impacting my business a lot. And I think that it's important to keep your humanity. And that's with the phones, like younger people. I mean, I grew up, you didn't have phones. It's kind of a new thing in my life in terms of my age. And so I think it's important for people to remember that it's about people, right? Connecting with people, learning to have conversations, being present, and not just always trying to find the hack, to get around something, but know that learning to communicate and interacting with people is a big part of success. And it's not always easy, but to just rely on something digital, I think takes something out of your humanity.
Also, on a personal note, I've been a subscriber of missionstatements.com since 2016, no, 2006 or 2007, I must say. So it's been a
Okay.
very, very long time. So I've had the pleasure of getting the insights and getting the code of the day. And I know there is a lot of work that you put in there on.
Thank you. I take it really like I imagine individuals. Like I look at the list, and while some of the emails you don't know the person's name, but I feel like I'm speaking directly to people. And so I really try to think about what do people need to inspire them, encourage them, in their role, whatever leadership role they're in, even if it's just leading themselves for the day. So thank you for saying that because it is a true labor of love. And I've just recently, and I think you and I talked about this, I've I've tried to add more to the quote emails, and ask people to subscribe. It's very low amount; it's $10 for a year. But I'm also now offering for people who don't want to subscribe. I'm still doing an individual email once a month. So to the people that have been regular readers of the email, so they regularly look at the email, they will continue to get an email just because I can't seem to let it go. Even though it doesn't pay for itself at all, but it's like a hobby that I enjoy at this point.
Yes, this is very inspirational that I can mention from my personal experience, and I'm sure it is also helpful for other professionals as well. And we truly appreciate the partnership with Statements.com, between
Yeah.
Statements.com and the American Business Podcast, and we'll continue this partnership, and we'll definitely share the code of the day coming from Statements.com.
Thank
Truly
you.
appreciate it. Carla, thank you so much for being with us in your busy schedule.
Yes, thank
Thank you for
you.
your time. Yes, I appreciate it. And I wish you a great weekend.
You too. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. Great conversation. Truly appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, to our audience and to our listeners, we had another great conversation today with Carla Hart from missionstatements.com. As I mentioned earlier, we had the partnership with missionstatements.com, and we share daily code, the code of the day. And that's a great partnership in that sense that we appreciate. Well, if you'd like to learn more about the American Business Podcast, you can visit our website. We update our website on weekly basis, and you can see our coming schedule. Also, you'll also see what type of updates that we have. For example, we have Connection America is coming up. Our business networking event, exclusive online networking event, is coming up, and you can also learn other activities. For example, we started a membership program that you can also learn about, and you can support the American Business Podcast by being a member. All this information is available on the American Podcast.tv website of ours. Would you like to advertise? Would you like to be a sponsor in the American Business Podcast? You can send us an email, americanbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. As you may noticed, recently we have got new sponsors, and we are happy about it. And we welcome more sponsors and advertisers to keep the American Business Podcast going. The American Business Podcast is a YouTube Silver Award-winning business podcast. Right now, we have more than 120,000 YouTube subscribers and growing on daily basis. We truly appreciate it. If you haven't done so, please scan this QR code right here. It'll take you to our YouTube page, and you can subscribe like, share, and if you feel more generous, you can also put your comments and share your thoughts. In each The American Business Podcast episode, we have a professional, an expert, an entrepreneur, a business owner with us, and they share their professional wisdom with us. So that's a great way to learn and improve our knowledge, as well as it's great for continuous improvement as individuals, as professionals. And in these conversations, I'm sure you also have some thoughts. We keep talking about and covering AI, for example, and AI's impact on business. What do you think about AI? Is it impacting your business? Are you catching up with it? You can share your thoughts also in the YouTube channel of the American Business Podcast. Great. What else is happening? The Connectional America Business Alliance online networking event is coming. It's scheduled for September 19, 10 a.m. You can join us and you can introduce yourself, your business, and your products and services. You can scan this QR code and register. That is limited to 10 professionals only. You'll be able to network with 10 professionals. Also, you'll be on the American Business Podcast, and you'll be watched and listened by thousands of the American Business Podcast subscribers, supporters, and followers. I hope you can join us. The American Business Podcast membership program was launched a couple of weeks ago, and we got great feedback so far. I hope you can be a member and enjoy the benefits of memberships and membership programs that we have. We have different membership types. When you scan this QR code, it'll take you to our membership page, and you'll see different types of memberships that you can pick and choose. We welcome any type. We truly appreciate your support. You can be a supporter, you can be an executive supporter, a member of the American Business Podcast. It is all up to you, and I hope you join us and be a member of the American Business Podcast. Ms. Excel is our latest sponsor. If you are interested in learning about Excel and other Microsoft software systems, consider Ms. Excel. You can scan this QR code and you can learn about Ms. Excel courses. And if you pick one before you check out, make sure to use the discount code coming from the American Business Podcast. It is ABP 2025. If you are in the market for an ERP software system, consider iTech Consulting. iTech is specialized in SAP, ERP systems, implementation, configuration, and training, as well as support. They have a great team, and they love to hear from you. You can scan this QR code. It'll take you to their website. And if you get in touch with them, make sure you hear about them from the American Business Podcast. That's it for today. Thank you very much for being with us today. I'm looking forward to having you next The American Business Podcast episodes. The American Business Podcast is the voice of American business. Thank you very much. Have a great day.